Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Now, I did finish the week with 17 wins and 3 losses for a win rate of 85%. So I'm definitely pleased about that. The trading ideas room, because we had Monday off because of Christmas. We only had 4 trading days this week. Trade ideas room on the Tuesday said SPY puts under 382.50 and Tesla calls over 120. So let's get to the 27th, which is right here. Now, I said what? SPY puts under 382.50, which is rate 382.50. I picked a weird number for that. Did I get the right day? Yeah. 382.50. Okay, I must have just... Okay, I see. I picked it right here, right off this area from Friday with those SPYs rejecting. Kind of hard to call levels. I didn't want to really call it down here at the 381.50 area because it's kind of a dollar drop. But SPY has been dropping. The opening candle on SPY lately has been like $2 to $3, and it's just been crazy. But I kind of wanted to get something fairly close in the range in case it ended up popping or dropping pretty quick. And so I went off Friday's highs, just rounded down to the nice 82.50 area. So didn't want to round to 383, which is right here because it's a small fluctuation. Could have broke that. And 382, I mean, I could have done that. I could have done down here. There's a little bit of a pivot right here. It's rejecting here and support rejecting. So I could have done with 382, but I went with 382.50. So first play, I took SPY 38.10 puts at 760. At 9:45, I waited the first 10 minutes out. And when it made new lower day, that's when I grabbed the puts. I grabbed the 38.10 puts at 760, and they went from 760 to 1060 in this little drop right here. And then I grabbed calls at 10:38, which is right here in this candle. I don't know why I didn't grab it right through VWAP, but maybe this was 10 o'clock. This is 10 o'clock candle, so there was news. So I'm not sure what the news was on this particular day. There's always 10 o'clock news, it seems like almost every day. So consumer sentiment or whatever it is, PMI. But there was 10 o'clock news, and it popped, and it got to the higher day. Rejected a little when it came back up. This is where I took the calls. Right when it dropped, it came back up to this 393 level, 383 level, I should say. So I grabbed the 38.50 calls at $8, and then went from $8 to $9.80. Not much of a move, but still a $1.80 move. We got to take that. Then I took the calls again, 11.43, which is right here. Right here. I can see why I took it here. It dropped down to VWAP, popped up, dropped, popped back up. It kept getting bought on any VWAP. So when I broke over these few candles right here over the 382.45, we'll say, that is when I grabbed the 38.45 calls at 8.50, and they went from 8.50 to 9.30. Not much of a pop. 80 cents, got to take it. Then I took calls again at 140. No, not 140, 108, which is right here. I got these kind of prematurely. You can see it rejected higher day here, rejected it here, came back down, flushed on the view up, and quickly came back up. And right when it got to this 382.50 level, thinking it was going to break this really harshly, and I got the 38.40 calls at 760, and then it dumped, and I ended up stopping out at 3, so it didn't work out. Then I switched to puts at 216, which is right here. And it dropped down, made new lower day. Well, not lower day, but got below this area of 381.50. bounced up the RCT line, came back down right when it broke below this area again of 381. That's where I grabbed the 38.25 puts at 530, and they went from 530 to 740 in that little drop. So definitely got a nice little play out of that. Really thought for sure it was going to pop right here. I just got in a little prematurely. Probably should have waited a little more up to the 382, 383 area, 380 to 80 area, and I probably would have not got into that trade. But sometimes I get in for anticipation of a break, and it just it didn't quite happen. So, but yeah, got trapped in that one. I could have like avoided that loss, but I got in prematurely. Sometimes I do that, so it is what it is. On the 28th, I said SPY puts at 381 and Tesla calls over 114. I was anticipating Tesla to have a short squeeze, but it just didn't happen until Wednesday. So now I took SPY puts, SPX puts, 3810 puts at 931. Now I didn't wait the first 10 minutes out. I should have. As soon as it broke, because I said pre-market was what, on the 381. As soon as it broke 381, it dropped so quickly and just raged that I ended up just taking a loss. And I ended up like averaging down, thinking that it was going to drop right here. And this is what I did. I ended up buying here, and it popped on me. And then when I got up into this area, it dropped down, thinking, okay, it's going to work. Then I think I added right 953. So I added in this candle, thinking we were going to finally dump. Then it popped back up right here. You can see this long wick, and that's where I ended up stopping out. And then it just dumped. I made so many mistakes on this trade. First of all, I should have never. I should have waited the first 10 minutes out like I always do. I just got thinking we were going to dump because of this 381 level over here. We got underneath this area from the previous day. It was going to dump, which it did, just not when I expected it to. And then when it got bought up, I added, and then I stopped out. If I just, I shouldn't have touched this in the first place. And then when I added, I stopped out. It was just a trade that just went horribly wrong, and I could have avoided that one too. So technically 2 losses I've taken I could have avoided completely, but like I said, I just got into too prematurely. I went against my own rules and whatever. So now on the 28th, I took Tesla calls at, let me see. Just trying to look at the options alert on Tesla. I can't get time because they blended in 935. So as soon as it broke the area of, what was it? 114, which is right here. As soon as it broke, I grabbed it. Grabbed it at 935. So I grabbed it in this candle, and we got a nice little push. So I got the 114 calls at 420, and they went to 550. So that was a nice little play. And so yeah, Tesla ended up working out well. But I was expecting a bigger move than that because it's just been getting hammered on. I think we're going to end up seeing a strong move out of Tesla this week. We'll have to see if that actually happens or not. But anyways, back to SPY. I don't chart SPX because there's no VWAP on SPX, and the algos and the algorithms respond to the VWAP, and SPX does not have VWAP. So I'll even show you. VWAP is this white dashed line, and you switch to SPX. It's not there, so there's no white dash line. The EMAs work. RCT in the previous day's close. Previous day's close is white line. EMAs are the blue, white, and purple, and the RCT is the orange line. But there is no VWAP on SPX, so that's why I do not chart SPX. I do chart it on the hourly. just so I know where it is hourly and on the chart wise, because sometimes when you look at SPY and you look at SPX, the numbers can kind of mess you up a little bit. So I do look at SPX hourly. There's no after hours on SPX, so make sure you make a note of that too. That does have a huge play on the moving averages and the way the RCT looks on the chart. So having the after hours on in VWAP, it does change the chart outlook quite a bit. That's why SPY is so much better to chart than SPX. So I'm just giving you a little helpful hint. With that said, getting back on the 28th is right here. I tell you, I took puts at 1038, which is down here. When I broke below lower day, this is where I grabbed the SPX 3810 puts at 570, and they went from 570 to 1440 if you held all the way through. That was a nice long, good long play. Then I took puts again at 1250, which is right here, right at VWAP. I took the 3805 puts at 710. They went from 710 to $8. You can see it dropped a little bit right there before it actually ended up dropping more, because I grabbed it at 1250. So I think I grabbed it right. Yeah, no, I didn't grab it at VWAP. I grabbed it at the 20 EMA, 20 EMA rejection. Now, if I go down to the 1 minute, I think that you'll be able to see it. Now the 20 EMA is different on the 1 minute time frame, so just be aware of that. So I got it what, 1250, which is right here, right in here, right there. You can see the little drop. Where is it? Right here. I grabbed it right here, 1250. This is where the 20 EMA was. Got that little bit of a pullback. That's where they went from 710 to $8 on that play right there. Now the thing is that SPY lately, again, this is why you always have to keep an eye on SPY. Keep an eye on what it's doing and how it's acting, because it does have an effect of what's going on. You usually don't see this. Lately, we haven't seen this. When you have a drop and it comes up to VWAP, we don't usually see a VWAP rejection lately. I mean, we used to see it all the time, but over the last couple months, anytime SPY has gotten to VWAP, it will maybe have a small reaction, or rage right through it. And if it does react, you don't usually see this kind of a reaction. You usually see a little bit of a sputter like this, then shoot through. And SPY has been doing that at VWAP. It's just been acting very, very bizarre, where it doesn't flinch at all. As soon as it gets to VWAP, it's like it's an instant algo buy. As soon as it hits it, just algos go crazy and just rip right through it. That's what it seems like, and that's what it feels like. So just have to keep an eye on all these little temporary things that are happening in the market, because they do happen, and how long they last is just is unknown. So you just have to make mental notes of it and be aware that these things are happening and react to them accordingly. So, but yeah, I rejected here. I didn't take it because I thought it was going to storm through it, but I did took calls at 244. Which is right here. As you can see, it rejected here, made all these little consolidation candles. Right when I got over the 270, let's say 79 area, that's where I grabbed the 3805 calls at 550, and then went from 550 to 770. So another loss I took this day. I didn't need to. So yeah, 2 out of the 3 losses I could have avoided, but it is what it is. So let's see, on the 29th, my throat is very dry for some reason. 29th, I said what? SPY calls over 3850. And 3850 is right here at this area where it was rejecting, and it's a little bit of a pivot support for like a little bit, just enough to get a reaction, then a flush to it. But it acted as resistance right here. I kind of rounded up a little bit to give it that nice 380.50, because I like to try to work in half dollars or whole dollars when I use levels at pre-market. Makes it easier to remember and stuff like that. So I waited the first 10 minutes out, First 2-minute candle to form like I should have yesterday. Not yesterday, Wednesday. And I took calls at new higher day. So I took the 38.35 calls at 7:30, and they went from 7:30 to $16 if you held all the way through. Then I took calls again at 10:32, which is right 10:32 right here. Yeah, right here. Pull back, pop back up. I got the 38.45 calls at $9. They went from $9 to $10.40. Now I know this looks like it's chasing SPY. As you can see, it's been getting hammered on, and I was thinking we were going to have a short squeeze, and plus put to call ratio was like obscenely high, a new record high. It seems like the put to call ratios have always making new all-time highs. It's kind of crazy. Ever since the SPX and SPY has been doing daily expiration, it's kind of broken dicks and the put to call ratio. So they used to be very dependable and used to give you an edge, but they've just been out of sync and out of whack, and it's not really giving you no edge. If anything, it's been like a false positive. It's just been giving you too many false looks, bad looks that just look like something's going to happen, and then it doesn't. So got to be very cautious about that. But put to call ratio, like I said, was at new all-time high, and SPY's been getting hammered on. So it was very due for a very big short squeeze. And when SPY has a short squeeze, that you can see a $10, $12 move very easily. So when it pulled back, SPY also, like when it likes to get stupid, it will put a red candle in, get everybody thinking, okay, that's the top, and then they'll rip it more. And this is just classic. SPY does this all the time, just luring in the shorts and just popping it more. So, but I saw that. I grabbed the 38.45 calls at $9 and went to 10.40, like I said. So then I took calls again at 11.30, which is right here. Same thing, started to make a rounded top. This blue line is a 20 EMA. It chopped enough to bring it up. Didn't quite touch it yet, but enough to bring it up. And when it broke higher day, this is where I grabbed the 38.50 calls at 660, and they went from 660 to 12.40. Nice little pop right there. Made new higher day. Had a nice strong push. Then it chopped. It chopped to bring the moving average up. Now I tell all the people in the room, when SPY gets disconnected from this blue line, which is a 20 EMA, when it gets too far from it, it does one of two things. It either chops and brings it up, or it drops down to it. In this case, it just chopped and brought it to it. And usually when it does that, there's more upside. So I did grab calls again at, let's see, 11.30 was this one, right? Okay, next one was 12.51, which was right here. Thinking that we're going to break out now. Like I said, we're at 384 and it opened at 379. That's only $5. Now you got to remember, you look at the SPY's daily chart on its short squeeze days. $10, $12, $15 short squeezes are nothing. So very easy obtainable. This being up $5 already doesn't really mean much, especially after it's been getting hammered, like I said, for the last week or so. So I was expecting a $10 plus day, so I wasn't worried about grabbing it right here. I grabbed the 38.50 calls at 870. It dropped on me. I wasn't too worried about it. A 20 EMA was right there, so I added I added more at 660, making my average at 715. Then it popped, and they went from what, 715 to 850, so I got a $1.35 move out of that or something like that. Then I grabbed calls at 240, which is right here. Okay, this is where it touched the 20 EMA. It finally actually touched it, and I thought for sure it was going to go. First of all, get a higher low. We can even say get an inverted head and shoulders, your left head, right shoulder, and that was the neckline of 384. Or you could just say there was a cup and a little bit of a handle right there. 384 the neckline. And I thought for sure it was going to dump, so I grabbed the 38.50 calls at $7 and it dropped, and I just ended up dumping it, stopping out at $2. So this is one loss that I did legitimately would have taken either or. I mean, I didn't take it prematurely. I didn't get into it too fast. This to me looked like a solid play. I didn't care it was up $5 because, like I said, short squeezes are 10 to 12, $15 very, very easily when SPY is stupid. And SPY has been stupid all day, and when your chops brings the moving averages up, it's a high probability that it's going to go more. Just this time it didn't, so I would have ended up taking it again. So technically, out of the 3 losses, I've only should have had 1, but it is what it is. I'm not going to dwell over it. I'm just pointing out that I just made a couple of stupid mistakes, but it is what it is. So now on, I took SPY, traded Israel. I said SPY calls over 382.50. 382.50 is pre-market high right there. Obviously didn't touch that. So the first trade I took was Tesla call, so I'll switch to Tesla. And I meant to call out Tesla in the room pre-market because I did like it. I was looking at it. I did like it over the 123. So when it got over the 123, the 123 is when it got over that. That's when I took the 123 calls at 196, and then went to 196 from 196 to 240, and that little pop. Then it just stayed in a little channel. So that was a nice little play. I still think Tesla is going to make a huge run. I just don't know if the market's going to hold it back or not. So back to SPY. Now I took SPY. Puts at 947. Now I had this first 10-minute candle right here. Not sure which way it's going to go. So I was looking at calls over higher day, and I was looking at puts at lower day. I had both of them loaded and ready to go. So when I made new lower day, I got the 3,800 puts at 820. And then went from 820 to 1170, that little drop right there. Then I took calls at 1048, which is right here. No, 1048, right here. No, 1048. 1048. Why did I take it down here? I don't know why I took it. Okay, I have to go down to the smaller time frame to see actually where I exactly took it. 1048. So I took it right here. Okay, we took it right when I was getting over this area of 381.25. Okay, that's where I ended up taking it. I took the 38.30 calls at 850, and then went from 850 to 1030. So I'll have to look at the 10-minute chart. Yeah, this is the candle I got it in right here, right when it broke over this 381.25, thinking we were going to make higher day. So yeah, that was the 38.30 calls from 850 to 1030. Then it just got slammed. Then I didn't switch to puts. I grabbed calls again at what, 1133? Right down in here. I grabbed it right down in here. Must have got it through the push to VWAP. That's where I grabbed it. I grabbed the 38.20 calls, 1133 at $9.10. Yeah, I probably got the push to VWAP. That's what I've been playing a lot lately, is when a SPY gets to VWAP, it just pushes through hard, and it did push through. So the 38.20 calls went from 9.10 to 10.20, so I get a dollar plus move. Then I switched to puts at 152. 152, right here. Right when it broke below, yeah, I could see you had this thing going on right here. This was the news with the France was gonna limit or test people from China for COVID, or they were gonna restrict it, or something that had something to do with that. Yeah, with the airlines in France and China and stuff like that. They were going to start screening people more, or denying flights from them. I don't remember exactly what it was, something along those lines. But anyways, it dropped, came back up, and when it came back down, as you can see, I just said, if it breaks this area of 379 again, I'm going to take it, and I did. I took the 38.05 puts at $7. They went from $7 to $10 right there on that last play, so that ended up working out pretty good. Then I just called it a day. I didn't want to trade anymore, and of course there was a massive push end of day. That would have been a good play to play, but I just had enough. I didn't want to trade anymore. I had 5 wins, and I've been losing almost one every day. So the fact that I was able to get 5 plays in and no losses, I was like, okay, I'm going to call it a day. And lately I've noticed the last few weeks that the last hour of the day or half an hour that's what I've been taking most of my losses was in power hour. The market's been very choppy and just chopping the death out of the expiration day option. So to me, it just wasn't worth it. I just ignored it. So when it starts getting these moves again, I'll start looking at it more. But this was an end of the year kind of move. I mean, I was expecting a drop because I think the year before it dropped hard, but this year it popped. But it is what it is. So that's going to do it for the recap. I hope this has helped you understand the reasoning and why I took the trades I did. Probably what I should have done differently, but it is what it is. So thanks for watching.